Number one, failure teaches you that success is never guaranteed. When trying something new, whether they're starting a business, applying for your dream job, starting a blog, or even starting a new relationship, everyone wants to achieve success. Unfortunately, this desire for success can sometimes be limiting. For instance, some people have always wanted to start their own businesses, but they have never done it because they aren't sure whether they will achieve success. Their desire for success hold them back from starting their business. When you have been through a major failure, therefore, you understand that things could go wrong despite your best efforts. Knowing failure is always a possibility. You learn to not let the fear of failure hold you back. Having experienced failure, it pushes you to go after your dreams. It teaches you to keep trying and trying until you get it right. This is what eventually leads to success. Like Winston Churchill once said, success is moving from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Number two, failure teaches you to embrace change. When you go through a failure, this is the universe telling you that there is something you're doing wrong. For instance, if you fail in college, the failure could be telling you that you didn't pay enough attention for your studies. Similarly, if your business fails, the failure could be telling you that there are some businesses factors you did not put into consideration. You have to look back at your failure, see what you did wrong, and then decide what changes you need to be successful the next time. In so doing, your failure teaches you that the only way to overcome failure is to embrace change. Number three, failure can be a great source of motivation. For most people, failure dampens their motivation and make them feel like quitting. For people with the right mindset, however, failure can be a great source of motivation. Basketball legend Michael Jordan is a great example of such people. At age 15, Michael Jordan wanted so much to be part of his high school basketball team. Unfortunately, his coach didn't think he was worth being part of the same team, especially considering he was 5'10" and couldn't even dunk. The realization that he didn't get crushed young Michael, he went home that evening and cried in his room. Instead of letting this kill his dream, however, Michael was determined to show the coach that he deserved to be one of the team. He trained as hard as he could, motivated by the pain of not making the team. Eventually, he earned himself a spot on the high school team and went on to become the best basketball player of all time. Just like Michael Jordan, you can turn your failure into a source of motivation. Instead of letting it crushes you, let the pain of not achieving your goal pushes you to work harder until you get your five. Failure is not final. After experiencing major failure, it feels like your world has come to an end. You feel like you don't have it in you to achieve your dreams or anything worthwhile for that matter. Actually, after going through major failures, some people give up entirely on life. However, if there is one thing you can learn from the failure or some of the world's most successful people, it's that failure is not final. When Steve Jobs was kicked out of the company, he started in his parents' garage. It feels like the world has come to an end for him. However, Jobs dusted himself, started other companies, and was eventually brought back to the CEO of a struggling Apple. He then went on to transform it. Failure allows you to broaden your perspective and focus on other things that might bring you greatest happiness, satisfaction than previously. Number seven, failure teaches you to stay humble. Success is a lousy teacher. Oftentimes, after achieving a series of successes, most people allow the success to get in their head. It makes you feel invincible, like everything you do was meant to be success. If you experience failure, however, you never let success get to your head. Even when things are going well, you know that they could go wrong at any time. This reminds you that you are human and keeps you humble. Failure teaches you that not every idea is worth pursuing. Sometimes you experience failure not because you didn't give your best effort, but because you pursued the wrong idea. When things aren't going your way, you might get too optimistic and want to act on every idea that pops into your head. For instance, when Steve Jobs came back to Apple in 1996, the company was literally on its knees. One of the most drastic measures that Jobs took to get back his company to profitably was cutting down on the dozen of products idea the company was working on. Jobs brought the focus to the company to a handful of products ideas. This focus on the most promising idea is what took Apple from a struggling company to one of the biggest companies in the world. Finally, despite the pain that comes with failure, this is not to say that failure doesn't have its silver lining. If you pay attention, failure can teach you valuable lessons to help you turn failure into something positive. Now, I have shared with you 7 important lessons that you can learn from failure.